Weather is the one thing your Ford has to deal with every single day, and it's also the one thing that most owners completely ignore when it comes to maintenance. When it's blazing hot outside, certain systems in your truck or SUV are working twice as hard as they were designed to. When temperatures drop below freezing, fluids thicken, batteries struggle, and components that were perfectly fine yesterday suddenly don't want to cooperate. And the owners who don't understand this end up stranded, dealing with breakdowns that were entirely preventable. The truth is that extreme weather, whether it's the scorching heat of a desert summer or the brutal cold of a northern winter, puts your Ford under a unique kind of stress that regular maintenance schedules don't always account for. The standard service intervals were designed for average conditions. If you're living in anything other than average conditions, you need to go further. Today we're walking through exactly how to protect your Ford in extreme heat and extreme cold. We're going to talk about what's actually happening inside the engine, the battery, the cooling system, the transmission, and more when temperatures push to the extremes. And we're going to cover what you can do right now to make sure your Ford is ready for whatever the weather throws at it. Whether you're in Phoenix in August or Minnesota in January, this video is for you. Let's get into it. Tip number 1. Testing and protecting your battery before extreme temperatures kill it. Let's start with the component that suffers the most silently and fails the most dramatically in both extreme heat and extreme cold: the battery. Most Ford owners think of battery problems as a winter issue, and while it's true that cold temperatures reduce a battery's ability to deliver cranking power, the actual damage to batteries most often happens in the summer. Heat accelerates the chemical reactions inside the battery, speeds up water evaporation from the electrolyte, and causes internal corrosion of the lead plates. A battery that spent a summer in extreme heat may test fine in October and be completely dead by December because the summer destroyed it internally, and the first real cold snap finished it off. The proactive move is to test your battery before the season changes. Most auto parts stores will do a free battery load test while you wait. The test applies a significant current draw to the battery and measures how well it maintains voltage under that load. It's far more accurate than just checking resting voltage with a multimeter. For Ford trucks and SUVs, which often have larger power demands from accessories, towing electronics, and start-stop systems on newer models, you want a battery with a cold cranking amp rating that meets or exceeds Ford's specification for your engine size. In extreme heat, the battery benefits enormously from keeping the terminal connections clean and tight. Corrosion on the terminals acts as resistance, making the battery work harder during starting and during charging. A $3 wire brush and a solution of baking soda and water cleans terminal corrosion in minutes. Once clean, apply a thin coat of dielectric grease or terminal protector spray to slow the return of corrosion. In extreme cold, a battery blanket, a heated wrap that plugs into a standard outlet, maintains the battery's internal temperature overnight and can be the difference between an engine that starts on the first crank and one that won't start at all. For Ford owners in genuinely cold climates, this is not optional. It's essential. Tip number 2. Checking and flushing your coolant system for both heat and freeze protection. Your Ford's cooling system has to do two opposite jobs depending on the season. In summer, it needs to pull massive amounts of heat out of the engine and reject it through the radiator. In winter, the coolant needs enough antifreeze concentration to prevent it from turning to ice in the block and cracking your engine. A single fluid handles both jobs, and most Ford owners never touch it between recommended service intervals, which is a mistake when you're dealing with extreme conditions. The first thing to check is your freeze protection level. A simple coolant test strip or a floating ball hydrometer, both available at any auto parts store for a couple of dollars, will tell you exactly what temperature your coolant is protected down to. For extreme cold climates, you want protection to at least minus 34 degrees Fahrenheit. And in the most brutal northern conditions, minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit is not excessive. If your protection level is inadequate, you drain a portion of the coolant and replace it with full-strength antifreeze to bring the mixture to the correct ratio. Ford specifies an orange-colored coolant that meets their Motorcraft specification. It's an OAT formula that is not compatible with the universal green coolant you'll find at discount stores. Using the wrong coolant chemistry causes a reaction between the two formulas that creates a gel-like sludge, and that sludge will clog your radiator, your heater core, and your water pump passages. Always use the correct Ford-specified coolant, and if you're unsure what's currently in the system, a full flush with distilled water followed by a fresh fill with the correct mixture is the cleanest starting point. In extreme heat, the coolant system gets additional stress from the pressure cap and the hoses. The pressure cap maintains system pressure, which raises the boiling point of the coolant and prevents steam pockets from forming near the cylinder head. A cap that's lost its sealing ability allows the system to operate at lower pressure, lowering the boiling point at exactly the moment you need it highest. Pressure caps cost $8 and should be replaced every 4 to 5 years. Squeeze your coolant hoses. They should feel firm but pliable. If they feel hard and brittle or soft and mushy, they're due for replacement before summer heat cycling finishes them off. If you made it this far, then consider liking this video, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel. This helps me bring you more honest car advice. Tip number 3, changing your engine oil weight and interval for temperature extremes. Engine oil is temperature sensitive in a way that most Ford owners understand in theory but don't act on in practice. The viscosity rating on your oil, those numbers like 5W30 or 0W20, describes how the oil flows at low temperatures and how it maintains its protective film at high temperatures. The first number with the W, which stands for winter, describes cold flow behavior. The second number describes high temperature viscosity. And choosing the right oil for your specific climate rather than just defaulting to whatever the sticker on the door jamb says can make a meaningful difference in engine longevity. In extreme cold, consistently below 0 Fahrenheit, a 0W20 or 0W30 full synthetic oil will flow to your engine's critical components far faster on a cold start than a 5W oil will. Those first seconds after a cold start are when the most engine wear occurs, because the oil hasn't yet reached the bearings, the camshafts, and the valve train. Thinner cold flow viscosity gets there faster. Ford's EcoBoost engines in particular benefit from quick oil delivery on cold starts because the turbocharger bearings rely on pressurized oil from the moment the engine fires. In extreme heat, consistently above 100 degrees Fahrenheit ambient, a slightly higher high-temperature viscosity helps maintain the protective film between bearing surfaces when the engine is running hot. If you're towing or hauling in summer heat with an F-150 or an Explorer, the engine oil temperature can climb well beyond what the coolant temperature gauge shows you, because oil temperature runs higher than coolant temperature under load. Switching to a quality full synthetic with a high temperature rating gives you a meaningful margin of protection. And in extreme heat, shortening your oil change interval, going by miles driven in heat-intensive conditions rather than strictly following the calendar, keeps fresh, fully protective oil in the engine when it needs it most. Tip number 4. Inspecting and preparing your tires for hot pavement and icy roads. Tires are your Ford's only contact with the ground, and extreme temperatures push them to their limits in completely opposite directions. In extreme heat, the risk is overinflation and heat-induced blowout. In extreme cold, the risk is underinflation, loss of flexibility, and dramatically reduced traction. Managing both requires the same starting point: knowing your correct tire pressure and checking it regularly. Here's the physics that most people don't think about. For every 10-degree Fahrenheit change in ambient temperature, tire pressure changes by approximately 1 psi. That means a tire correctly inflated at 35 psi on a 70-degree day will read nearly 38 psi on a 100-degree summer afternoon. And that's before the heat generated by highway driving adds even more pressure. Chronically overinflated tires on hot pavement have a reduced contact patch, reduced traction, and a higher risk of sudden failure if they hit road debris. Check tire pressure in the morning before driving, when the tires are cold, and set them to the Ford-specified pressure found on the door jamb sticker, not the maximum pressure molded into the tire sidewall. In extreme cold, that same tire at 35 psi in summer might read 28 psi on a January morning at -10 degrees. Severely underinflated tires generate excess heat as they flex, wear rapidly on the outer edges, and handle unpredictably on ice and snow. Check and adjust pressure every time the temperature drops significantly. For Ford owners in snow country, a dedicated set of winter tires mounted on their own wheels is one of the highest impact safety investments you can make. All-season tires compromise in every condition. A true winter tire, with its softer rubber compound that stays pliable below 45 degrees and its siped tread pattern designed for snow and ice, transforms how an F-150 or Explorer handles in genuinely cold conditions. Tip number 5. Flushing and topping up your transmission fluid before season changes. The transmission is one of the most expensive components in your Ford, and it's one of the most affected by temperature extremes at both ends of the scale. In extreme cold, transmission fluid thickens significantly, and until it warms up to operating temperature, the fluid isn't flowing freely through the valve body and clutch packs. This is why cold transmissions often feel sluggish or hesitant through the first few shifts of a cold morning. The fluid is too thick to respond instantly. In extreme heat, especially when towing or hauling, transmission fluid can overheat, break down chemically, and lose its ability to lubricate and cool the clutch packs. The proactive maintenance step for both extremes is making sure your transmission fluid is fresh, at the correct level, and of the correct specification. Ford is very specific about transmission fluid. Their Merkin series of fluids are purpose-formulated and should not be substituted with generic alternatives. The wrong fluid in a Ford 6R80 or 10R80 automatic transmission can cause shift quality issues and accelerated clutch wear. For owners in extreme cold who regularly deal with long warm-up periods, a transmission fluid pan with an integrated drain plug, rather than the factory design that requires dropping the pan for a fluid change, makes regular service dramatically easier. For extreme heat or towing applications, an auxiliary transmission cooler is one of the best investments you can make. These bolt to the front of the radiator and add additional cooling capacity beyond what the factory transmission cooler provides. Ford's towing packages include these from the factory on properly equipped trucks. But if yours didn't come with the tow package, adding an aftermarket cooler is a straightforward installation that can significantly extend transmission life under hard use. Tip number 6. Protecting your Ford's undercarriage from road salt and winter corrosion. This tip is specifically for Ford owners who live in areas where roads are salted during winter, which covers most of the northern United States and Canada. Road salt is extraordinarily corrosive, and while Ford's modern trucks and SUVs use extensive galvanized steel and anti-corrosion coatings, salt finds its way into every crevice, every joint, and every seam over time. The damage it does is slow, invisible, and cumulative, until one day you're underneath the truck and you see frame rust, rotted brake lines, or seized exhaust bolts that snap off when you try to remove them. The best defense is regular undercarriage washing throughout the winter season. Every time the temperature climbs above freezing and you have access to a car wash with an undercarriage spray setting, use it. Flushing the accumulated salt from the wheel wells, the frame rails, the underside of the floor pan, and the suspension components before it has time to sit and react with the metal is the single most effective corrosion prevention measure available to you. Beyond washing, an undercarriage coating applied before winter begins adds a physical barrier between the metal and the salt. Products like fluid film, a lanolin-based coating, or rubberized undercoating can be sprayed into the frame rail cavities, onto the suspension components, and along the floor pan. These coatings displace moisture, resist salt, and can be reapplied seasonally. Ford owners in high-salt environments who do this consistently keep trucks structurally sound well past 200,000 miles, while those who ignore it deal with costly rust repairs and compromised structural integrity far earlier. Tip number 7. Preparing your Ford's heating and cooling systems for seasonal demands. The HVAC system in your Ford works directly against the outdoor temperature. In summer, it's pulling heat out of the cabin, and in winter, it's pushing heat in. When either system is stressed by extreme conditions, it becomes obvious immediately, and in both cases, a small amount of proactive maintenance prevents the most common failures. For summer heat, the air conditioning system's performance depends on having the correct refrigerant charge and a clean condenser. The condenser is the AC component that sits in front of the radiator, and it gets clogged with bugs, road debris, and cottonwood seeds over time. A clogged condenser can't reject heat efficiently, which forces the compressor to work harder and reduces cooling capacity. A careful rinse with a garden hose, directed from the engine side pushing outward, not inward, clears the debris and can noticeably improve AC performance without any refrigerant work at all. If the system is low on refrigerant, a professional recharge is the correct fix. Adding refrigerant without addressing the underlying leak that caused the loss is a temporary patch that will need repeating. For extreme cold, the heating system's performance depends on the heater core being clear and the coolant being at the correct concentration and condition. If your Ford's heat has gradually gotten weaker over the past couple of winters, a restricted heater core, caused by scale buildup from old or incorrect coolant, may be the reason. A cooling system flush with a dedicated flush chemical, followed by a refill with fresh correct spec coolant, often restores heater performance significantly. Additionally, replacing the cabin air filter, found behind the glove box on most Ford models and replaced by removing 4 screws, ensures maximum airflow through the heater core and into the cabin. A cabin filter so clogged it's blocking airflow is more common than you'd think and takes 5 minutes and $15 to fix. The bottom line, extreme weather doesn't have to mean extreme repair bills. Everything we've covered today, the battery, the coolant, the oil, the tires, the transmission, the undercarriage, the HVAC, these are all things you can manage proactively, most of them yourself, all of them before they become serious problems. The owners who get caught out in extreme weather are almost always the ones who were maintaining their Ford for average conditions. The owners who sail through brutal winters and scorching summers are the ones who understood that their vehicle needs a different level of attention when the temperature goes to the extremes, and who took action before the season arrived rather than after the breakdown happened. Your Ford is built to handle tough conditions. It's been engineered for work, for towing, for long miles, and for real weather. But it needs you to meet it halfway. Take care of these systems now, going into whatever extreme season is coming your way, and your Ford will reward you with reliability that justifies every bit of trust you put in it. If this helped you get ahead of the weather, hit that like button and subscribe. There's a lot more Ford maintenance content coming, and you don't want to miss it. Drop your location and your Ford model in the comments. I'd love to know what climate you're dealing with and what your biggest weather-related challenge has been. I'll see you in the next one.